Hi, my name's Will Steer and I'm the first assistant editor on My Lady Jane, which is an Amazon Studios 8-part series. The show combines elements of comedy, action, drama, including a lot of VFX that I've been working with my team and all of the vendors to manage. In my job as a first assistant editor, I work closely with our VFX editor and then eventually taking on the management of some of the VFX shots myself, in addition to working with our online editors as well, some of whom, in the case of this show, were actually remote, which added a layer of complexity to our production. So when you're working on a complex show such as this, especially in a challenging time, like the strikes that affected us and many other productions in America, combined with various other pressures, you end up with a lot of different schedules competing with different vendors, which means you sometimes have to bring on new staff and new vendors, and there can be switch-arounds. This is what the industry is like in general, but we all know that recently it was a particularly challenging period, and certainly for us we had to pull together and find ways to work through that. One of the ways in which we did that was by quickly bringing on additional online editors who worked remote, but with our DI teams, as well as new VFX vendors that we didn't initially anticipate having to bring on. So one of my changing responsibilities on the job became tackling a little bit more of the VFX side of things, especially in the latter part of the project. I wasn't familiar with Origami at that point, so I was a little bit nervous about being introduced to a new platform and a new piece of software partway through a job. I don't mind taking on a new challenge and learning a new bit of software. That's often what we have to do in this industry. So of course I said yes, let's have a look at it. But what I found is I didn't really have to worry very much because the software is actually so intuitive. If you're someone that knows post-production, then the way that Origami works is quite intuitive. So in the past, I've primarily gone directly to DI vendors to have VFX pulls done, which involves a process of having to work directly with individuals and busy teams, and often having to wait for pulls to be done. With Origami, the pulls obviously just happen automatically. I would say maybe the sort of best you could hope for in a sort of non-automated environment would be to have a shot returned to you in maybe half a day. The difference between that and Origami is pretty stark, because Origami can kick out that shot for you in about maybe a quarter of an hour. I would say you could expect it to be with a vendor. You can rescan shots yourself. I believe, in fact, the rescanning shots was a feature that was even added during my time, and I've seen several features added during my time whilst I've been working on the software. So one of the things about using the tool is, as a VFX editor, you are sometimes concerned with the colour science of your shots, where the shots may or may not rest on a server and so on and so forth. But as someone who primarily works in offline, people can talk to me about the cloud storage, about the RAIDs and all of this sort of stuff. And I primarily want to be getting on with my job in the cutting room. I don't really want to be thinking about those things. The good thing about Origami is it works with whatever storage system. So I'm not dealing with any of that side of things. I just send my shots from the offline edit to Origami, and then Origami sends those out to the various vendors in an automated fashion. It's not my problem. I wouldn't hesitate to use it again because of the simplicity of the tool. It's really, really easy for any editorial staff member to use this and add it to their toolkit, their own personal toolkit, as a piece of software they know. And no one should be worried about using it ever, because it just works.